This terrible mouse is actually perfect? Yes, you read the title correctly. The Darmoshark M5 Pro is a really weird mouse. It's expensive for what it is, it's got really bad clicks, and it's freaking tiny. But it's genuinely one of the most fun mice that I've ever used. So let's talk about it. The M5 Pro is Darmoshark's attempt at making a true fingertip mouse, and an attempt was certainly made. As mentioned in the introduction, this mouse has a couple flaws for sure. First is the price. For what it is, even below $100, it's really not a very fair price. It's got an average sensor, a very average battery life, and a relatively average weight for the size. But the biggest issue with this mouse are the click wobbles. They're genuinely almost a deal breaker for me. It took a lot of getting used to, but it doesn't really bother me as much anymore. So that leaves the question, why on earth do I love this mouse so much? Fingertip mice for a long time have been something I've always been curious about. Watching people like Pingu talk about how much improvement they've had in their aim just by using fingertip mice made me always want to have one of my own. This journey first started out with some 3D printed mods, and to be honest, I hated them. The shape of the mods made it really difficult for me to switch over, and I just, for the life of me, couldn't find a comfortable grip. I'm someone with hands that are on the smaller side, and the 3D printed mice I used had a tendency to make the left and right mouse buttons very far away from each other. This made it super uncomfortable for me as somebody who likes to hold their fingers really close together on their mouse, and forced me into a 1-3-1 grip, which in turn also put a lot of stress on my pinky finger as it would be the only finger on the side of the mouse. Because of this, I had decided that fingertip mice just weren't for me, but that's when everything changed. A true fingertip mouse at an unbeatable price on eBay, and that's how I ended up with this thing on my desk. It certainly took some getting used to, but after only a couple days, I soon realized that I genuinely loved using this mouse and fingertip grip as a whole. And it really felt like I was aiming with just my hand rather than a mouse. Unlike some other fingertip mice, the M5 Pro has more of an egg-like shape, and because of this, when you compare it to the 3D printed counterparts I'd been using, the M5 Pro feels a bit more neutral and supportive. And as far as fingertip mice go, it's a relatively safe shape. And this is when I truly fell in love with fingertip mice. Being able to perform such tight and precise micro adjustments compared to something like palm grip made me feel a lot more confident in fights, despite the loss of stability. So that leaves another question. Is switching really worth it? The fingertip grip is widely considered one of the more optimal grip styles because of the range of motion that it unlocks. When using palm or claw grip, your wrist does most of your movement, and vertical movement is very limited by the back of the mouse. But with a fingertip grip, you unlock your finger's full range of motion. And again, there's certainly a learning curve to using fingertip, but if you play games that require a lot of small movements like tracking focused games, the learning curve, in my opinion, is a very small price to pay for such an advantage. So, is the Darmoshark M5 Pro technically perfect? No, it's definitely not. But that's almost the point. Despite all these flaws, this tiny weird mouse is what made fingertip grip just click for me. And in the end, it's all about finding what makes you confident in a fight. For me, it happened to be this tiny little terrible mouse, but it turned into something that I was really looking for. If you're into experimenting with your aim at all and seeing what works best for you, I would definitely recommend at least trying a fingertip mouse. Because after all, you never really know what you like if you don't try it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.